up a seat to the bar and join us for another episode of McAnally's Pubcast, a podcast exploring the fun and fantastical mind of Jim Butcher's The Dresden Files series. Hosts Tansen, Jess, and Maggie bring you another round of literary analysis on this immense, immersive, and colorful environment inhabited by Harry Dresden, the world's only licensed private investigator and professional wizard. Join an active and engaged community of new and die-hard dedicated fans focused on the fabulous themes, theories, characters, context, lore, and more. This is McAnally's Dresden Files Pubcast, brought to you by Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk. Welcome to the McAnally's Pubcast, brought to you by Free Flow Rambling. This is episode 21.1, Hedwig the Huge, where we are covering the graphic novel Wildcard. My name is Tansen, and I'm joined by Maggie.
Hello, hello.
And Jess.
Why are the fairies in A Midsummer's Night Dream so bad at hide and seek?
Why?
I don't know, why? Because they always puck their head out when you least expect it.
Ba-dum-bum. A bizarre double murder draws the interest of Chicago's only wizard for hire. But as Harry Dresden begins his investigation, the clues lead to troubling conclusions about the possible perpetrator and set him on a path that will place him in the middle of a conflict between the city's three most powerful factions. A conflict that could engulf all of Chicago.
Issue 1. Harry takes on a new case with two women dying under mysterious conditions. Because the murders look suspiciously like a White Court vampire attack, Harry enlists his brother Thomas to make inquiries with Lara. Before they can get to her, they are attacked by a giant supernatural owl. Who? So one of my alternate titles is Nice Hooters. Or Big Bird.
So, right back into the graphic novel hell. We've got essentially the exact same team as Downtown. And again, that's why I think these were all just commissioned all at once to get these 3 or 4 graphic novels all at once done, because they're all essentially set one right after the other. They're all done by the same team of people.
Murph still has hip problems.
Yeah, they essentially have zero relevancy to the rest of the plot of the Dresden Files, unlike Welcome to the Jungle, which, while not necessarily relevant to the plot, I felt fitted better with the storyline and the...
Right.
I mean, I guess there wasn't much canon way back then, but still.
I liked this one better. I mean, granted, there's definitely some inconsistencies.
Mm-hmm. I did like this storyline a little better than Downtown as well.
It annoyed me much less.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're just being gaslighted into it now.
Maybe. If we just inundate them with graphic novels that they have to read, they'll just eventually... It's like when you hear a song come on the radio and you're like, ooh, you turn it up. And then you recognize it because it's a song like you hate. But it's like you're so right at this place.
Well, the rest of us aren't doing that.
Oh, you all have done that too. Where, yeah, it's like a song they play like over and over and over as they do on the radios. And then you're like, oh, I hate this. But then it becomes just so
People still
familiar.
Listen to the radio.
Does anybody still wear a hat?
I'll drink to that. And one for Rick D's. And the weekly top 40.
Okay, so random assailant running after these women in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Brand new characters, all of them.
Some rando
Freaky.
whistling figure is following them.
Yeah,
I keep thinking of that, like that like Kill Bill whistle.
I don't remember that specific part of the Kill Bills. It's been so long since I've seen them, but
Yeah,
it vaguely...
for whatever reason, that one ends up being like that sort of creepster.
What do you think about when he...
You know,
if somebody's
psycho
chasing you while whistling, that's just weird.
I don't know. This is typical, though, right? Like you say, second panel. Like, let's call a cop. Hurry, there's no... I get running inside, but with a cell phone in your hand, an emergency dial, I don't know. I'd be maybe calling while I was running away from...
They have one in hand?
There's a lot going on, okay?
Well, I'm assuming she says, let me call the cops. I'm assuming she's got a cell phone in her.
It's a purse. She hasn't got it out.
Whatever. But you know what I mean?
She's looking for it, though. It's just panic at the alley.
Like, I get it. And perhaps, yes, if I was actually being chased by something, maybe I wouldn't want to take the 2 seconds to stop it. But you know what I mean?
She's even having a hard time getting her keys out.
But, right, you had time. While she's fumbling with her keys, you could have fucking hit 911, man.
Yeah, but she's the one with the purse.
There's no speed dial back then.
Either way.
So wasn't that long ago.
Panic.
Oh, right.
Speed dial existed before cell phones.
By the way, this is set sometime 2008, somewhere in between February and October. Based off of how lush this comic gets, I'm going to say probably more like spring rather than summer, but essentially spring or summer.
Okay, so in
Gotcha.
terms of technology, there's some people that are more affluent that already
So, like-
have the Apple iPhones
Yeah.
around there.
The
But
iPhone,
it's probably
like, first
more likely,
edition just dropped.
a flip phone.
Yeah.
Or like
yeah.
the iPod Nano anyways.
Which is fine, but speed dial still existed before cell phones.
No,
so.
it didn't.
And again, that's why it's like
We're not
a
quite to the point where
3-digit
everyone's
number.
walking around with the screen in their face.
No.
Not quite.
Not quite, not with a screen, but I just, from the way she says it is, let me call the cops, makes it sound like, yes, they have a cell phone on them and whatever. But regardless, yes, they do the typical girls in a horror run away and get killed before you can call for help or whatever.
This little clever cheat of this mystery fiend by like getting an invitation
Yeah.
through.
Just by saying the word, not directly to him, but
So we already find out that this is some kind of clever magical creature that needs to be invited in somehow, but can actually manipulate technology.
Okay, because I was just going to say, I was like, excuse me, Harry, where is, like, you say magic always has to have, like, and yes, for supernatural creatures, magic works differently than for mortal people. But I was just going to say, where's the intention? Because she was, if she was inviting the cop, not the being. But that is kind of a moot point because you're
they get
right.
different rules.
He's the one that is on the phone anyways.
Not
so.
wizard rule.
That's wizard rule.
So it's not a wizard.
So the women end up getting their souls ripped out, apparently.
Apparently.
They die. Pretty violent, pretty evil.
Life for well, I don't know. Violent to me seems more. I guess it's violent in the sense that yes, their entire life force was just ripped away, but it seems very sudden and not like violent in the sense.
I don't know. I guess just because based off of the women, like it does seem very scary. So
Well, if he rips out their soul like that, does that mean they get no eternal rest? They're just like...
Well, I don't even. Is it their
No
soul or their
existing?
life force? Because later on, doesn't it?
this
describe
is
their life force
a
or their-
debate that exists throughout the series because sometimes Harry refers to one as the other as the same, and sometimes he says they're different.
Yeah, I mean, again, the
Yeah.
way we do sometimes use them as interchangeably. But yes, from a spiritual point of view, I can't answer that question. As a point of your soul, your life force being kind of they're dead one way or the other.
But I think God would probably still collect your soul or whatever like that, even if they're gonna rip from your body. I think he's like, oh no, sorry, you can't come in. Like that was the one rule. You had to die with your soul. Like,
Well, no, I think this is where you could get
the body is free of sin, but
I think this is where you get into the argument of whether that soul is released, right? So is this thing kept or captured their soul where it cannot move on?
I don't
or
know. I
again,
feel like he
is
just,
it
released it like
separating
balloons.
it? Then yes, then it would still
Spoiler, we never come back to it.
right. Oh well.
based on the rest of this, he doesn't seem like a collector of enslaving people. He's just straight up insane.
Well, I was gonna say that's that whole more of a spiritual thing. But anyways, all I was gonna say is just to me, violent connotes. Is that the word I'm looking
Connotates?
yeah. Anyways, but more pain, right? Whereas this, at least, for all it was, is it seems more of like an instant,
what are you complaining
sudden
about,
kind of
guys?
a thing, that at least that way. But either way, it doesn't help them. They are as dead
I don't
as
know, lots
dead,
of
no
terror.
matter what. And not what they were looking for to the end of their evening, regardless. So,
Yeah, good guess.
This outfit that he's wearing is so funny to me. It kind of just reminds me of like Tank Girl or like Mad Max.
right?
Yeah, very
Like,
Mad Max.
Sort of fetishized.
Like very,
Leather
very
daddy.
like the exactly. It's the long leather flap kind because he's got like the
he's wearing multiple belts around his
arm
waist
things and the
but he's
neck
got, like,
choker, but
He's got like a football shoulder thing. Which, This is why I kind of think Tank Girl.
yeah, like it definitely is an interesting
It's a choice.
It's like he took Harry's coat and just like shredded it for.
I mean, later on, like, because I'm not going to consider whatever we talk about for this spoilers.
And not
because
super
it's-
spoilery because it's a one.
So I mean, like he's trying to set up what he thinks a court vampire should look like. So this is what he imagines a white court vampire looks like,
Is
which
dressed in
eventually
leather?
kind of makes sense to me. Why he's like,
It's
I just took it as like
this is
dude
what
out of touch, you know?
stereotypical white
I
court
was gonna
vampire is going
say-
to look like this because I'm going to set them up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I took it distinctly as that, or again, just as this is his own weird fashion choice or out of touch kind. Like again, I always think back to the Buffy series where it's earlier on. Giles is like training her, being like, "You have to sense them." She's like, "It's that guy right there." She's like, "The dude that's dressed like the '80s because his fashion hasn't changed." And like, you know what I mean? And that I'm like, you get that a lot too. Like you say, it was the supernatural supernatural beings that, again, why fairies and shit are always in like Renaissance dress, because it's like they still haven't quite caught up with. So yeah, I don't know if that is a good question. I don't know if it's specifically what he thinks is
a costume or an outfit.
A sexy
It
vampire.
makes it funnier to me is because like it's like weird.
Way off the mark, yeah.
Not quite, but I can see sort of.
Hello, fellow kids.
You know?
It's definitely some kind of punk sort of right with
Like,
the mohawk
I'm
and the
sexy
right.
and fetishized.
Yeah, is that I don't know if it necessarily says vampire,
incorrect.
but it definitely says that. I don't know. Would that be the equivalent of the modern like club kid kind of a thing with the?
Okay, moving on. Next page. Detective Sergeant Murph. The fuck did you just call me?
Thank you. The fact that yes, detective sergeant, all this fucking where the fuck? Never, ever in the novels is she ever called detective sergeant or detective. I don't think ever.
She is a detective, kind of.
She is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, lieutenants and sergeants are.
Yeah.
That is kind of the rank. Is that she's not a plainclothes beat cop, or she's not a uniformed beat cop. She's a plainclothes detective.
But of all people to mislabel her, Butters shouldn't be one to mislabel.
And Harry and everybody, it comes up repeatedly in I think Marcone or whatever does it later too. I'm like, where did never has she had that double title connected together. That I'm just like, what? No. That annoys. Yeah, detective sergeant. It's just fucky.
Yeah, there's a few like plot points that this whole comic sort of neglected to recall.
Yeah, one or two, it was crazy. Yeah, there's a couple of those.
I mean, in some forgiveness, I don't remember, but this is.
I mean, it could be worse. I guess technically it's
whatever.
probably not wrong. It's just jarring because, like I say, in like 9 books and short stories and whatever.
And maybe this is why she has a funny look on her face in this page.
Douglas, what the fuck? Have you been sniffing the embalming fluid again? But yeah, she's always just been like sergeant or lieutenant, never ever. And again, like maybe at worst, like you say,
Put some respect on the name.
Well, it might
throw
be-
in a detective every now
Sounds
and
very
again.
British.
Well, and they do much more. Detective inspector, detective
Hello,
sergeant,
Governor.
always keep
Hello,
it.
detective sergeant.
Always keep it.
Maybe they did
connected,
it,
but-
and that's like the follow up later.
Butter
That they're
crumpets.
like, oh, we fucked that up. Let's just make a joke about it later. Sounds British.
Yeah.
I don't
Good
know.
luck.
I don't know. But yeah, but like you say, even to me, it just sounds like the kind of thing that you would do, like maybe on a first, like you say, that is sort of the official title, right? But then, yeah, and I'm like, no,
That's weird.
Yeah. So we've got these 2 women that have died under mysterious conditions, aka we can't figure out why they're dead. They just shouldn't be dead.
perfectly
There's nothing.
healthy, but they're dead. Wow, this comes up all the time in murder mysteries.
And I do quite enjoy this, like, oh, we'll just get Molly to figure it out. She'll do what she did last time. And this time she's just like, the fuck? There's nothing.
Yeah,
Huh?
which is interesting and
I
strange.
like the little eyebrow raise.
yeah,
I like the panel there too.
What? Yeah, because you get quite good at this, and Harry is now, like you say, for the last
Starting to
3,
rely on
4
her for it too.
storybooks. Like, yeah, exactly, right? Be like, oh, Molly's so good at picking up this shit. Sure, let's see. Molly's like, I'm gonna sit down and do my thing because I know I can do this better than her.
It's
like,
a little bit
nothing for you,
of
boss.
this on edge. She's not an ectomancer like Mortimer, but she's still got
she's
disabled. She can pick
sensitive.
up these sort of
Yes.
these death images or whatever.
These last moments, yeah.
She's so emotional still.
I know.
Again, she's overdramatic.
If it really was, I'm gonna. I was like, okay, fuck, damn, dude.
Let's get them all. White court must die.
That was the other thing
Shakes fist.
that I'm like, again, Molly is emotional. Molly is hasty and rash and stuff. But again, this
Yeah, these blow-ups. I think that's just graphic novel art, though. You know,
I think it's
like,
got to be because, yeah, I was like, this doesn't quite
need more
fit with
action
her-
shots.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm like, Molly has also proven to be, when she's not being a dipshit, to be fairly level-headed and stuff like that, right? She's
One or the other.
yeah, well, she's getting much better at following Harry. Like, she does trust Harry a lot in these kinds of situations, right? But yeah, exactly. Just the fact that she just suddenly goes from like 0 to like 160 and flip. I'm gonna kick their asses. I'm, what the fuck, Molly? Like, no. But
Yeah.
yes, I think again, you're right. It's the genre, right? It's the
is my best guess because I mean it's essentially in every single graphic novel now. Just out of nowhere, Molly's fucking like furious and taking up the whole frame. It's kind of like when you're on stage and they're like, use all the space, okay? Don't be boring and stand in one spot. The artist has to draw something, okay?
It's definitely like it seems out of context for how she behaves in the books. Like,
Exactly,
she's much more. She's got sort of a more timid sort of,
I don't
in
know,
some
like,
cases, timid.
Level-headed isn't necessarily the right phrase, but
closer
she's her
to
father's daughter in a way. Like,
Yeah.
the Carpenters are not dumb. They've got a little bit more of
Well,
this sort
that
of, like,
too.
approach to, like, we've been dealing with this our entire lives, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And again, in this, because she idolizes Harry and wants to be like Harry and wants Harry to like her and everything so much, mostly, like you say, she's good at following his lead for this, right? So she doesn't just, again, be like, we have to go and kill, she's like, Harry, what do we do? And then Harry goes, we have to go and kill them all. And Molly goes, okay, yeah, cool. But she doesn't, right, exactly. It's more, she's like,
I shouldn't have said timid earlier.
no, but I know what you
More
mean. Yes,
cautious is
reserved.
what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I got sort of what you meant. That she's not as exactly as frontal. She's righteous, but she's not usually. Kick her
A
ass
lot more
myself.
vomiting going on too in books.
Yeah.
I'm glad she gets over that.
The nice thing about these graphic novels, too, is, at the end of the last book, Murphy was kind of like, I've been demoted, I can't pay you as much. And these graphic novels, Murphy's like, come help me.
Yeah, we just don't even discuss that.
I don't even know. Maybe he's not even getting paid. But yeah, she's just like, it's like very much at the end of the last book. She's like, sorry, dude, like I'm not in charge anymore. I can't afford to pay you, blah, blah, blah. And Harry was a little bit like, hey, you're a friend. I'm going to show up to help you regardless. But especially with these graphic novels, he's just like, where are you, Harry? What the fuck? I got things to do. Where are you? Follow me everywhere.
Yeah, right. We just skim over that part too and be like, again, she's just, passing the cup around at work. Just throw a couple bucks in the hat so I can hire Harry, please.
I like this image, though, of Harry, Murph, and Molly walking out of the building. And there's virtually no difference in height between Murph and Molly.
Right?
I see.
Not really.
It's not.
Even in the panel right before.
Because she's quite tall now.
Molly's
by this
supposed
point,
to be.
She's like
Molly's supposed to be closer to
following
6
after
foot.
her mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't see, like, Murph coming across as 5 nothing next
yeah.
to Molly's 6 something.
I don't think she's 6 something.
Yeah,
I would say
Molly should
just about
Molly
6,
should really cut
I
the
mean.
difference in height.
Yeah. But anyways. So, back at the apartment after they split up, and Molly's still on this kick about that. Like, just again, the whole
Justice.
powered up whatever.
seeing the powerless suffer and still being able to restrain yourself.
But it's almost the exact same rant as in Downtown, essentially. Like, she's just like, it's not fair. And Harry's like, okay, cool down. What do you want us to do about it? Which, to be fair, is kind of like Harry's whole shtick. But Molly's talking about just regular human evil, and Harry's basically set himself away from that part, at least. But
Yeah.
still, yes. I guess that's kind of, the whole, like, freshly 18, save the world mentality. But
Yeah.
I do appreciate Harry being like, please don't go out and manipulate everyone, you psycho.
Yeah. So remember how we're talking about this whole like control thing?
It will
and
never
how
end.
properly-
It does sort of reflect a bit of what he does, though, too. He's just got more control over it, where he's like, he feels the need to sort of be the protector and save these people. She's just a little bit more like...
And again, he's got that 10 years on Molly now.
I know,
right?
but also to a certain degree, Harry can't do what Molly can do, right? Like,
Well-
all he could do is go light everyone on fire, right? Molly's like, excuse me, I literally can go into their brains and make them better people.
Yes, there is that too. That yes, Molly could.
And then they'll destroy themselves. Mwahaha.
But even like that, even though like Book Molly still has a little bit of like you say that 18-year-old let's save the world, it's just not right. Again, she still seems to understand, but right in the book she seems more like, okay, yeah, that made you so. Remember when I showed you the horrible, horrific trauma you did to your friends by doing that?
Yeah.
That Molly's kind of like, ooh, yeah, I'm not just gonna go around doing that to people because now I know
gross.
what the right. Like, yeah, she realizes
This is
it's
dog with a bone, Molly.
yeah.
If he brings it up every time, she's gonna stop listening.
It's not the victimless crime she thought it was, where she's like, oh yeah, no, there's actually serious consequences to that, but blah, 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 yes. So he's like, let me go talk to my bro, because there's other things out there that can just, rip away life forces.
Moving forward, you go to visit your brother. He lives in a super swanky apartment. Now, for the masses, you do have to pretend to be a gay couple for stupid-ass reasons that never needed to be set up the way they were, but Thomas is insane. All that aside, imagine you go to visit your super rich, super hot brother, and he is just posing all over the apartment when you're the only one there.
He is totally.
It's just like, the whole time I was reading this, I'm like, is he on GQ right now? Is there a photographer also in this room? Like,
He's
Harry's
like,
trying to interrupt him while
I'm
he's doing, like,
standing in front of a giant wall of windows.
Yeah.
You never know who will be looking in this way, and I will break
Thomas
stuff.
is like posing to be like Mr. August, and he's like, all right, Harry, but make it quick, okay?
Or Whereas Harry's just like slouched on the couch.
And it just was so funny to me because it's like in every panel, he's like, get my good side. I'm like, no one else is here, Thomas.
They gave him the steepled wizard hands for Harry at least. So
you're right. That's accurate. Just made me laugh though. I was like, is someone else in this apartment watching you guys? Like, you don't have to keep pretending to be boyfriends right now.
Thomas knows. He's always under surveillance from like Lara and them. So he's like, just in case
Lara,
the guy on
get my good side.
Yeah, just in case the sniper on the roof on the building across I just want to make sure.
No one can see me.
You don't want to. You can't shoot this. I mean, come on, bro. Look at how fabulous I am.
It just made me laugh. I'm like, who are you posing in front of the window for? And then against the wall. But anyways, yes, he's all like, oh my gosh, Thomas, people are dying, and I want to talk to your sister. Will you please come with me? Which, again, is still so weird considering the events of all the last few novels where he's still like, Thomas, come be my bodyguard so I can go talk to your sister. I'm like,
come be my intermediary, my
you basically
liaison.
plotted a coup with Lara, and you just were dealing with her for this other situation, and it was a whole thing.
But it's still like,
whatever.
You know, the 1700s where you can't use anybody's like first name unless you're like
seriously,
close. So it's like, I can't just introduce myself to them. You have to come and introduce me.
It's just kind of funny to me because, I mean, again, and coming off the events of the last book, Thomas has been basically forgiven and allowed back into the family and stuff like that. But there was still this whole, like, stop coming around here and bothering Justine and go be your own man. And
he still doesn't have all of the, because again, he's working at the salon. Basically, that's still his in because he doesn't have just the access to the
money.
bank accounts and shit of the, He's not as exiled, but he's not like fully back in the fold. He's just kind of allowed on the edges again. But yes, you're right. You'd kind of think, especially given the immediate last few circumstances, that Harry could just be like, yo, Laura, I need to talk. But not a thing. Not a thing.
As we're setting up for the comic book readers that Lara is not to be trifled with because the brother is afraid of her.
Yeah.
That too, yes. If even Thomas is like, oh, you can't mess with
She's fucking scary, bro.
Yeah. So what is this? Is this like Clockwork Orange?
It is completely Clockwork Orange.
Okay.
This is where I start referring to him as the crazy cosplayer.
Okay.
Because, like, everything is just this
crazy
costume.
different
And it was just like, what a choice.
For the
to pick
record, I've never
literally,
seen Clockwork Orange, and I'm pretty sure I don't want to.
A little bit of the ultra-violence,
Yeah,
it's a Stanley Kubrick.
And it's just kind of messed up.
Its themes is just pure
which is why I was like,
fun of it.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's not a movie for me. But yes, that is, I know enough about it or seen enough that I was like, yeah, I see this with the...
I've done this for Halloween.
Underwear on the outside.
I recognize
and the
this.
whole... Yeah.
I was going to say, I was like, this is straight up an outfit from your closet, for sure.
That's right there.
Not every day, guys, just so you know.
It's really easy, because all you have to do is find one eyelash.
And I don't know, if you still had your Facebook, I bet I could find the picture.
It's temporarily back.
Perfect.
Quick, go!
Track it.
Gotta pull it up and post it on Discord.
I don't know, I have a picture of that one.
Just an outfit, incredibly close. Suspenders, dress shirt. I feel like it exists and I've seen it.
Oh, it's...
Yeah,
for sure.
So he just randomly starts chatting up this cop. And then just randomly, like, rips his heart out. Like, rude, dude.
How do you report your own murder? What?
Yeah. And again, this poor night clerk.
But, I mean, it's a choice. So if he's trying to set up certain factions, why did he pick Clockwork Orange in this particular instance? It's just like, what?
Right.
What?
I don't know.
He's a literary character, choosing more literary...
There you go.
Costumes, okay?
Perfect. That's exactly it.
He hasn't quite fully committed to his fully fleshed plan, so he's like, well...
He's trying, he's like,
we're going to piss the cops off. It should be the White Court, but right now he's pretending to be one of the really bad mobster, but not like it's a gang member. He's a gang member.
Like he's a cosplaying gang member or something. See, at least for all the crazy shit you've had at 7-Eleven, all the people trying to steal shit and start fights, at least nobody has ever like thrown a dead cop onto your counter yet. So I guess you have that going for you.
It's
that
early.
It could always be worse. Been like a decade.
It's probably not going to happen because the cops are not coming to your place anyway.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Sorry, we're busy.
A cop would have to be in the vicinity in order to die within the vicinity.
To drag them first. You just got to get better coffee and they'd come.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, sure, yeah. So Thomas and Harry are driving out to fucking Wraith Mansion. Okay, please read the description at the very top of this page with the moon.
Wraith compound was located to the north of the city in a heavily wooded area that completely shielded it from outside view.
Thank you. You have argued with me before that it's outside of Chicago city limits. And it's outside Chicago city limits.
Are we considering this canon?
Yeah. As long as I'm right.
Fair.
This says
The Wraith compound was located to the north of the city in a heavily wooded area that completely shielded it. It's north of the fucking city. You gotta hit the highway. You gotta go out there.
but city limits. still
Chicago barely
extend
even counts their
beyond.
boroughs as part of Chicago. I know because I've been there.
Oh,
Bus
fuck
tickets doesn't
you.
count when you leave.
Wow.
My hotel didn't count as being part of Chicago, so I couldn't get a fucking bus ticket.
The
Excuse me,
difference between
Mrs.
Vancouver and Vancouver Greater.
fancy schmancy globetrotter. Okay, my bad.
Not to brag.
Woman, international woman of not
Recognized.
mystery.
Yep.
Whatever. She's so well traveled.
To Chicago. Not many
And New
people have
York.
been there.
You went to New York once.
It's been a while, but I've been there.
Just
Just enough to remember that the hot dogs are great.
Oh, just rub it in, guys. Yeah, well, you know what? I've seen owls, okay? And I didn't have to fucking go to Chicago to do it. So, boom.
Nice.
Now who's important?
Touche.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
I
is...
kind of love the giant owl.
I do too. And I like your title, but technically I think this has definitely got to be more of like an Errol than a Hedwig. The Weasleys, like...
Oh.
Barn, yeah. Baby Pigwidgeon, because I was like, that's...
I would care if
you
we
care?
were doing a podcast on Harry Potter.
Shut
We're
down.
not. We're not.
I thought we were talking about Hedwig from...
The Angry
The
Inch?
Angry Inch?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
That was all the posing.
I would believe that if Jessica wasn't a major Harry Potter nerd and her first thought would not be...
Actually, that's for the violence, you know?
Yeah, uh-huh. But yes, either way, crazy giant owl is kind of cool.
Hedwig and the Angry Molly.
Hey!
Wait, we have to go back and rename this episode.
We've done that before, right? Where episodes have like 11 titles because we couldn't decide.
Yeah. Big owl chasing car.
Very,
Very.
very big owl.
It's also very bulletproof.
Yeah, and apparently, I don't know. I get you're right, moving targets when you're moving and your target is moving. At the same time, I'm like, how many times, even in the last couple books, have we seen Harry shooting at things from vehicles, and specifically with Thomas? Let's see, they drove away in his beetle from the angry poo-flinging monkeys. Harry was sitting outside of his car window firing at this thing, and Thomas was driving. When the Scarecrow chased them in grave peril, and Thomas is driving away in the van, and Harry's fucking leaning out it and shooting at things. I don't know, Harry, you should be well practiced at this by now.
We have also seen in equal measure how many times can we count that we have seen him lose his blasting rod.
That's every book. As soon as he brings
Every
it,
book.
as
So-
soon as he brings it out, it is getting
the-
lost.
One of the two
slash
is bound
broken.
to happen with this moment.
You'd think he'd attach like one of those Wii wristbands to it.
Right?
I'm still with that, like having it attached to him.
Which is
like,
funny because in this picture, technically he does kind of have that. Because he always talks about like tying it inside his coat too.
Yeah, he seems
It's
like
just
tied to a thong inside,
They
but
kind
yeah.
of have the little wristband on it here. So I was like, really, Harry, you should be putting that thing on.
Half on a
Don't check.
carabiner.
That's why it's there. But yes, apparently he can't shoot
Or
and
learn
drive
some
at
sort of
this-
like Accio spell, you know?
Right.
Accio.
whichever way you want to say it.
Whatever.
Yasio's funner though.
But yes, his blasting rod is usually what gets blasted, which is, I'm like, it's a great tool, but you break it every time you break it out. So, I don't know.
This stick is good for one spell.
Yeah, right.
Him getting picked up by this bird though is just so
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
brutal.
Dislocated for sure.
Yeah, and and the puncture.
And
the-
how it's drawn. Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And I mean, kudos, so he can't fucking like blast this giant bird, but this bird, I mean, owls are fantastic hunters and they fucking swoop down and pick up mice. But it just, right, the precision of this thing to just be
True.
like,
Of all birds,
you're-
owls have a pretty
You're
great
fucking
fucking success
shooting
rate.
at me and and I'm just gonna fucking grab you and yank you out anyways. Like you're
Bird
not
don't give no fucks.
Yeah, you're not deterring me at all. This is like
Listen,
I got this,
somebody
bro.
who's incredibly bad at GTA.
maybe you're not
The
gonna hunt on
hardest
move.
levels are when you have to shoot and drive.
Yeah, oh, guaranteed. But yeah,
Missions,
This,
whatever.
this owl is like, fuck you. You might not be able to like move and pounce at the same time, but this is my jam.
It's also, you know, not even an owl, right? This is a never
Construct.
construct,
Yeah.
right?
This
It
is a
looks like an
supernatural
owl, but yeah.
Yes, it is definitely much larger than your usual standard Chicago fair. So yeah,
At least I hope so.
I don't think it's just been drinking the fluoride.
Thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers for your generous support. It's people like you who help us keep doing what we're doing. If you're not yet a Patreon subscriber, sign up today and get a fuck ton of bonus content, kick-ass merch, behind-the-scenes outtakes, and more. Sign up today at patreon.com/freeflowrambling.
Issue 2. Thomas and Harry are able to dispatch the attacking owl and make it to Lara's. Harry and Lara spar while discussing the recent deaths of the two women and Lara's family members. Lara is convinced that Johnny Marcone is responsible and is declaring war, but Harry disagrees. They make an agreement that if he finds out who murdered her kin, she will help him with his investigation.
I think I got like a tiny metal sliver in my finger the other day too. Every once in a while it hurts. Yeah. Harry, hold on. To fucking what?
So,
You hold on to me, bro.
figuratively.
Yeah. Yeah, there's got to be all parts of that are hurting. To have those claws jammed in you, like you see, and now another supernatural, somebody like yanking on your leg and your ankle.
And he's like
your
basically on the rack.
Yeah, basically, yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, the coat should hopefully protect him from actual, like, punctures. But yeah, you're dislocated for sure.
But in that actual picture, it showed blood. Like, it's gotten through his shoulder.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't.
And he says that it's basically dislocated as well. One of them's dislocated. This is kind of my issue for later.
Yeah.
In this same issue.
I was going to say, yeah, hard to say because you're right. In the picture, it does show like puncturing and blood, but it also shows it like as a brown canvas duster and not like a black leather coat. So again, is it more just for the imagery or
The artists and the petting people need to really actually read all of the series before they contribute?
in some way? Yeah. So I don't know if it's more just for I don't know like emphasis in that, or if we are supposed to think that it has actually penetrated. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Either way, moving on from all that, watching Thomas wrestle an owl is really fucking funny. It's actually so good. I love those action shots the most. Like, going at the owl's claws, ripping around its wings. It's just really funny to imagine. Just like one man versus a fucking bird, and the man's getting absolutely destroyed.
He's doing all right.
It's also
some of it he's like gets on top of him. He's like got him in an arm bar.
That's exactly like.
I kind of get like Hercules cartoon, like especially the one where he's like with his hands on claws kind of. I feel like this like Hercules vibe of like holding it off and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's lucky. I mean, how he even got this thing? Because this thing was like flying up. Like again, he's got enough that he managed to pull it back down. Because if that thing had actually gotten any height, they both would have been hooped. Because Thomas, there's no way he was. If he hadn't managed to hang on to Harry and like yank this thing back down.
Owl is not good at close counter fighting.
I'm not used to the mice all ganging up and trying to pull each other back down with it.
Yeah, I feel like he was even strong enough that like the owl could have taken Thomas with him too if Thomas was holding on to Harry. But
well, if we look at one of this bottom panel where he's got the wing, clearly this owl is quite surprised.
Oh, well, yeah, touche.
He's like, what the fuck?
I mean, I don't know. If you start snapping my wings, I'd probably be pretty surprised too. But I can kind of, because you could argue again that the supernatural strength that, if you just like picked him up, you could probably pick him up. But if Thomas is exactly like wedging himself into the car, hanging onto the car, I could see him.
Still.
But yes, either way, yes, it is. It is a nice little fight. They get Thomas gets some licks in before this bird is like, what the fuck, dude?
It's a good enough distraction for Harry to baby his arm the entire time while drawing with his other arm with his staff, the circle.
Yeah. And look at that nice big giant. Like, I understand how it has to happen for these things, but there's once or twice where this is, and I'm like, again.
Thomas is
he's fighting the shit. They're staying within a relative, like, for the size of circle that Harry has to draw, it's kind of huge. But at the same time, you're like, Thomas is managing to keep this thing because you think this thing would be all the way fucking all over everywhere. And Harry would no way be able to actually draw a circle around this.
Chasing after them in the
woods. It'd be like fucking like oval, like this.
And more realistic to just draw the circle and be like, hey, come back this way.
Yeah, exactly. He just roll this way a bit more.
Harry might not be actually walking leisurely. He could just be running.
Harry's taking 45 minutes to make sure this thing is a perfect circle.
I mean, he says before that works for because if you do sloppy circles, you get like sloppy, like it's not, what's the word? Economical?
Efficient
force.
Yeah, it's like inefficient and stuff like that, right? So you want like a neat, clean, symmetrical to keep all your energy from sloshing out or using too much. So
This makes me laugh though, because when he's in the basement, he's like, no dust over the line. And then when he's in the woods, he's like, yeah, whatever, a line in the dirt, good enough.
So
You make do.
the Never Never ectoplasm, I sort of always, in the back of my head, sort of imagine like aloe vera gel. Like,
Oh, yeah. It's
is
more
fine.
It is more like that. It
this is
clear.
much worse than being like snot green.
This looks like
nasty.
Slimer from Ghostbusters.
I was gonna
or
say, I
anything.
think I've
It's
always
not.
imagined kind of Slimer, so this is pretty much what I picture.
No, because he always says it's clear.
And I picture Slimer,
I
and
never
it like
really want to gross
dissipates.
myself out with my imagination, so I
That
think
too.
aloe vera.
But it dissipates so quickly that I'm like, who cares what it looks like? Because it then immediately kind of evaporates.
Yeah. No, I don't do the snot green thing either. I see it as a much more clear. But either way, it does convey that this thing suddenly turned to gunk and schlump. That part is,
It's taking a bath.
it's.
So yes, who doesn't want us going to the Wraith property? Questions.
We switched to Murphy and Rollins, who just happened to be nearby somebody else's murder investigation.
Yeah, but can I just say, nobody ever wants you to go to the race thing. So obviously, somebody doesn't want us to go here. I mean, nobody ever wants you to go anywhere.
Never.
You
Been
always
invited
get stuff.
once in your life.
That's just good because Murphy always has to, any weird death, she's always just going to show up and be like, so is this just something normal that rips your throat out? Or is this like something on my side of the street that rips your throat out? Just checking, just asking for a friend.
To be fair, though, it is fair to be like, oh, we can't care about a fellow dead cop.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah.
She does. It is played off well enough with that comment. It's like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And it does support sort of like the whole faction versus faction that they're getting up in arms over their fallen comrade.
Yeah.
And Cop Doughboy here is happy to give all of the deets on it.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. At least
Yeah, I know. What do you do? And then be like, okay, so by the way, here you go.
I have to posture for the cameras, Murphy. No hard feelings.
Right? Just like Tom, you never know where they're posing. I just have to make sure
exactly.
that.
Murphy, you can't be. Okay, so here's what I got. Help me.
Wow, I'm not helping the cop nobody likes at all. Look, can you tell me what's going on here?
So
they
Murphy's back on the case.
Yeah, they can't really figure out, but they're gonna help out and do some research, but and some sort of vague stocking up on some non-standard issue ordnance.
Yeah, I gotta go get my magical tools because my gun's just not gonna cut it here, Rollins.
I like that though. Like, yeah, Murphy. Like, yeah, put your head in the game immediately. Who knows where Harry is? But yeah, I got some steps I can already start taking.
She's got her go bag of goodies.
Yeah, taking the initiative, not just waiting around for.
And I do like eventually that we'll in the upcoming issue we'll find out why she does that, what her history is, and it addresses that, which I liked. I liked a lot. They go.
So yes, my not favorably drawn Lara.
Right. There's so much that I'm like, what is going on? Why are they fighting in a library/ballroom? Why are they in their underwear?
Because you just have that. When the times change.
I guess when you're a
The
leader,
ballroom-
you get to cover your abdomen, but if you're an underling,
Everybody gets a different outfit, okay? Whatever.
bra and underwear.
Okay, this is what I actually genuinely don't like, because are these Lara's sisters? Like, genuinely actually her sisters? Because if they are also Thomas's sisters. And he doesn't give a single fuck about any of them. He's like, who gives a shit? I'm here to talk to Lara and Lara only. The rest of my sisters can fuck off and die.
Well, and we find out that her family members, somebody's been murdered.
And if somebody's been murdered, Thomas doesn't give a fuck.
Thomas should have known.
He walks into this room, doesn't give a fuck that these are multiple of his sisters, doesn't give a fuck that some of his sisters are apparently dying,
It's true. Now-
or all alternatives that Lara just refers to all of them as her sisters, and she's not actually talking about Wraith sisters, which I kind of feel like she is, but...
Yeah, not biological sisters, just like a brotherhood, a sisterhood, like sorority sisters. Or
But I
shit.
think she is
I
talking
think
about, like,
she's-
real sisters.
So here's the thing. So we don't see a lot. We will in upcoming actually see like a couple more of sisters, Lara's sisters in the books and that. Thomas doesn't have the same, and I think what part of it is because, which they have pointed out early on and made a point of, Lara basically raised Thomas. Being the oldest sister and whatever, she raised. So I think he has that more special connection to her. The other ones, again, we're talking like 50s, hundreds of years in between. Well, again, not as much because, like I say, Lara apparently only turned out to be like 150 or something like that when I figured she was more like 3 or 4 or 500 or something, or she's 300, I forget. But point being, anyway, so there is very possible that Thomas really isn't as close to them because they would have been long grown up and gone before, right? So Lara raced, that's the only one that was ever there on a date. The other ones were often like fucking Milan and England and wherever else. Also, Thomas has this tough part between his vampire monster family and not wanting to be a vampire monster thing. So Thomas may genuinely actually not be as close. He might not be as, because they are just mindless killing machines. They don't give a fuck. They're happy to go out and feed, right? So in some ways I get, like, you're right, on the one hand it seems odd, but again, he resents people because he doesn't like Dad. He's like, family. And Thomas is like, fuck this family.
That's my counterpoint, is that Lord Wraith, I don't think, was sending his children all around the world all the time. He was mostly keeping his daughters to be his sort of whatever sexual slave, whatever. And yeah, sure, send them around if you have something for them to do. But
he just brought them up into that and put them all under his thumb. That was how. And
I know, but I still get the impression that he keeps a fair amount around to whatever bullshit. But also, like, again, Thomas also was like pretty involved with Inari. He like was wanting to keep her safe and her loved and
because
whatever.
She was the baby after him. Right? He could influence what happened to her, not all the other ones that were already.
Because the last book we already had two sisters that were already mentioned in it, and they were like basically they weren't given names. They sort of came across as lackeys, and that's kind of who I assumed that these were, or those two lackey ones that were in the cave that were like just helping out fight.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, we get at least one or two because she's like, "Where's Jessica? Go call Tamsin in." And at some point, they do get. I will tell you, but
we're not going to cut any of this in case you're wrong and I'm right.
That's fine because there
And
is.
if you're wrong and
In another, I think it's in another couple of books here, we are going to get to it where again there's a little bit more involvement from the Wraiths and Lara's faction, and
I don't recall that whatsoever.
Obviously, I think what you were saying about him keeping them around, because I think the whole point of Lara and them was that he beat them down or whatever so much early on. That was why Lara never. She's been plotting, she's been wanting to take over, but she never made a move because they all thought he was still untouchable, invincible, right? So that he had fulfilled that for 300 years or more, right? I mean, admittedly, it's reasonable why they wouldn't automatically think that. But yeah, I think that basically he trains them up like that early on. And then, yes, because even Lara says in the beginning, like, she hasn't been around. She's like, we've got houses all over the place. Like, we don't just hang out in Chicago.
Oh, well, I get that. I don't think they're all moving around as a pack, but I also don't think that, like, Thomas, like, basically didn't meet any of them growing up, you know, because, it was just him and Lara the whole time.
Yeah, no, I don't think, like, a not meeting any of them, but just why he's much closer to Lara, not that they just would. It would have been more like extended family.
Classic older sister. She's the only one that talks to everyone.
I still think these are like the lackey sisters, like from the other book, where they're just.
Yeah, to a point, but just why she's
nobody
like
gives
Thomas.
a shit about these two because they're like the little pissants that nobody likes. Maybe they're just annoying.
It is right. It is partially odd, you would think, but I also can sort of, I guess, is what I'm saying is rationalize it.
I just think overall, super weird. Comes into the room, doesn't acknowledge them whatsoever, and also doesn't give a fuck that apparently some of them have been killed.
Yeah,
he's like, that's Lara's problem. Okay, I've been kicked out. I don't.
Yeah. But
what about
acknowledging the murdered family member is kind of like.
But what about my platinum card, Lara?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
There's two things that I'd like to acknowledge about this particular panel where she gets smashed into I eventually will find out is a mirrored wall. What an impractical place to spar. Like, wouldn't they have enough money? And like the place is basically a castle. Why wouldn't they have a room dedicated to do?
Okay, when you have enough money to make every room a golden ballroom. Eventually, one of the golden ballrooms is going to have to be the sparring golden ballroom.
Maybe part of their fun is that they have, like, they just like inviting contractors to fix up the place, and their payment is death by pleasure.
I've been feeling Baroque lately. Now I'm feeling more Renaissance.
If it ain't Baroque, don't fix. Okay, but I was going to say that's part of it. Is that depending how old this thing is, like you say, is what once upon a ballroom, and now you're like, hey, well, now we're going to turn it into like a gym because we don't need a fucking ballroom anymore. Although yes, you'd think they would like do it up. But I was going to say it could just again be that crazy mass wealth again, where you see like people like golfing off the top of their sky, just because they can. It's they're like we don't race like remote control cars and smash them. We race like full on like remote Lamborghinis and smash them.
When you can have a mirror repaired in an hour, why not smash?
Yeah,
that's
Lara's
fun.
just like, oh yeah,
and a snack.
We are just so high class and so rich that we're not doing like the sweaty, stinky.
Also, you're
gym.
assuming that this was planned. Maybe they just got into a bitch slap. Okay.
That is not how you do the foxtrot. That's how I do the foxtrot.
She is pretty cranky right now.
Right? She is. Laura's like fucking taking a page out of Molly's notebook. Normally she's so...
That's the other thing, yes.
Calm.
Cool
She's like,
head,
you're not
right?
going to catch me being insane.
So here's my other issue with this issue.
How many times can she make that pun, folks?
Every time we do one of these.
It still makes me smile. So he offers to spar with her, but like in this very same issue, he has a dislocated shoulder that he's dragging, trying to like...
To be fair, he says as much. He literally says, he's like, I'm all fucked up, but I gotta do this for the people of Chicago, which is, again, not really at all true. But yeah, do it for the people of Chicago.
Because he's like standing normal with his brother, and he like... He doesn't look like he's favoring himself anymore. I mean, that was just like literally like they had to walk.
Harry's been through enough of
like
these.
It hasn't been long.
Has Lethal Weapon taught us nothing? Everybody just pops the dislocated
Slam it
shoulder.
against a wall,
yes.
You're good.
Yes.
That's actually his intent. He wants Laura to throw him against the wall so it goes back in.
I'm sure he did this against a tree in the woods already. He had Thomas whack it back in for, like, whatever. It's going to be sore, but yeah. Yeah.
Although I do like their little electricity like stabby thingies. Yeah, because
what the fuck are those
sabers?
things?
Yeah.
What the fuck are those
They're like
things?
Just happen to have
cattle
lightsabers
prods,
right now, okay?
or they do look like
Are they some? Yeah. Are
miniature
they like? Are they
lightsabers.
like normal technological tasers? Are they fucking something supernatural? I don't know what the fuck these are. I don't know. It annoyed me for some
Fancy
reason
cattle
because I was
prods.
like, what? Yeah. Are they just? I like that they don't have a better explanation to tell me what it's
I know, they don't
supposed to
say
be.
it all like, Laura, pass me a lightsaber. They just have them.
That's it. I know. And I'm like, I don't understand if this is, like you say, I'm like, fine, if it's just like a taser thing or something, but some kind of, I don't know. Laura doesn't run around with supernatural lightsabers normally. So I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Her outfit reminds me at the end of the Grease movie where like Olivia Newton-John's in that
Comes
bodysuit.
back and-
But they actually had to sew her into it because they
you
there was no
couldn't
room.
actually,
And
yeah.
this is the same thing. There ain't no zipper. She's got to be sewn into this.
Again,
And why not?
that's that supernatural, whatever mojo that they just paint.
She doesn't
the
need
clothes
she's a
on.
vampire, okay? She can dip herself into a bottle of bleach every morning. No problem.
She's also like, again, super rich. So this is like, super NASA space lycra that can stretch out like 4 feet to get it on and then snaps back to its like original memory
just like
foam
the painted
size
on, literally painted on.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's actually,
Rubber, latex,
she's actually
whatever, yeah.
naked. It's
Yeah.
just body paint.
Yeah, the rest of us can't get, spandex like that, but Lara and her, yeah. And, okay, the other thing I had issue with is this fucking little maid that, okay, we know that the white court is all sexy, lusty. They are not a fucking, like porno house. Like, they're not running around in funky French maid out, like, you know what I mean? And especially because he makes the point of it, like, the whole thing in Blood Right was that Wraith like sucked the mind out of all his bodyguards and everything like that. And Laura's like, no, I'm not gonna, because I'm gonna have people that are competent and can do what I need and think for themselves. She's a businesswoman. No way does she have this fucking
French
anime French maid cafe, whatever the fuck this is, bringing her a fucking towel and no.
They can wear what they want, okay?
You know what I like about that flashback though? Besides, okay, so I was like, okay, yes, she's got a French maid, but the guy that's next to the open coffin reminds me of a really fit riffraff. So I think this is riffraff and Magenta from Rocky Horror Picture Show that have been white court vampified.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, but
Yeah, no, it was hella funny.
yeah.
But yeah, yes.
Yeah, no, I get
Not
yeah,
enough sourcing the original materials.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just because they're fucking sex vampires, Laura's a fucking businesswoman and she fucking runs a tight ship, okay? She does not, you're not coming to her house and thinking you just showed up at Hugh Hefner's place. Like, maybe that's how others do it. Maybe that's how, like, Madrigal runs his shit, but not fucking Lara.
I mean, maybe one of the, I guess she probably got rid of that 70s sex room.
Yeah, well, we already know she redid
Which
the
makes me
fucking
sad,
cave,
'cause-
so, she definitely redid, like, the fucking...
Yeah.
But yes, turns out that, yes, Laura's all up in arms because she feels that the mobsters mailed her sister back to her in a box, and that's just kind of rude.
It's pretty rude.
Also, how Lara is running around in fucking, like her fucking bra and underwear is a spot, but this chick is in a fucking Renaissance dress.
she didn't know that she was going to be
What
on
the
camera.
Fuck this. What is this? Yeah, they have no idea.
It's her house. Maybe it's her day off. She wasn't planning on seeing anyone, okay?
Maybe she's just living the golden era. She just likes how she...
I thought McAnally shouldn't show up dressed like this at McAnally's. That'd be crazy. that'd be ridiculous. But this is her house, you know? She didn't know she was going to have visitors today, okay?
Maybe, yeah, that's exactly. She just likes to... That's her comfort wear when she's home alone.
I just want to wear a corset.
This is what I grew up with. It's what I'm comfortable in. Anyways, but yes, we find out, so not cool. unprovoked attacks against members of her family, and nobody ever likes people or bits of people mailed back to them. That's like a long established fact as well.
That's usually why they do it, though.
Well, that's tried and true. Yeah. So, reasonably, Lara's a little perturbed at this point.
That kind of like, a calling
pretty
card.
shitty.
She was shot straight in the face. That's Marcone's work. I'm like, I feel like that's not really like a, Marcone, it's shot in the face. That's definitely
Execution strength,
Yeah.
therefore.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I feel like a lot of
I don't
people,
think,
that's
I
how
was going
they
to say that's
aim
not
for
the
it.
only
thin.
clue. If you want to kill somebody, especially Marcone, who violence moreover is a last resort in a lot of cases for, not that his guys, like you say, I'm sure a lot of his drug dealers out on the street are all shooting each other up all the time.
I feel like
but-
not. I feel like Marcone does go to a lot of violence. It just like doesn't work with Harry, so we don't see it as much.
Well, maybe.
a lot of shaking down.
It's the gentleman part, though. Like, you know what I mean? He is cleaner and more, right. If he was just the same straight up all the time.
Let's flash forward to his men literally shaking someone down.
Yes, but they're shaking someone down, but they're not.
I know, but
Anyways, but yes, point being is regardless of whatever, she draws the conclusion that yes,
yeah, it was Marcone.
it must have been Marcone. Fuck
thing it's
that
a
guy.
comic.
Again, this seems very much like, okay, remember downtown? Like, yeah, see, we do shake people down to pay for their protection, okay? Like, yeah, no, we got it. That was established last graphic novel.
Yeah.
At the same time, the last graphic novel did prove that they were getting their money's worth.
They weren't. They were getting killed. I was going to say, I wouldn't be wanting to be like,
That was kind of why Marcone had to do something about it.
3 guys, they just fucking got slaughtered. Now I still have to pay you? But yes, I guess eventually he did solve the problem, but...
I love the idea, though, of Marcone's guys being like, we've paid off so many cops, I can literally just, like, bitch and whine and be so rude to them.
Anybody patrolling in this neighborhood is ours, because
Yes.
So you get the cosplaying cop, because he is, and we find out where the missing
Hey, this guy
outfit
looks
and the
familiar.
cruiser has gone.
Yeah.
Why the cop who suddenly got thrown there. Although I feel the need to flip back to that. Did he not still have his uniform on when he went flying through the window?
Who?
Yeah, he did. But
cop.
It said that like there was maybe he had a change of clothes because it
was
like,
taken out of that rings a vague
like
bell.
some of his
Spare uniform or something out of his cruiser. Okay, because I was like, is he walking?
He did. He wasn't naked when they found him. Like it was.
Yeah, I was like, where did he get this? Okay,
I had to like sort of read that too. I was like, oh, it was just worded just enough to be like his extra or something.
right.
Like
that rings
Just
a vague
to
bell now that you
to
say it.
intimate that, you know.
Yeah, that they
Him pulling this out, though, and, like, looking at his list and checking it twice and saying, who's next? I'm like,
need a list for that.
Makes him look like a lackey.
but it's just, like, it's the same thing as the guy from downtown. I'm like, does everyone just have a list, like, of just people to, like, go fucking gunning after in Chicago? It's just so funny.
He's quite a good artist, though.
So yes, apparently, yeah, I know it is kind of, again, doesn't necessarily say lackey to me either, but again, I'm just like, so now you're kind of going to like the head of Murphy, not the commissioner, but she was obviously a big player in the Supernatural. She was the head of SI. But I'm like, you had this random...
If you're going to pick her to
Yeah,
piss
it's a
off
random-
all of the police, it's not a good choice. Like,
It's not a good choice, but...
There's a lot of other people I'm sure that they
Any
could kill.
cop is any
But all I'm
cop,
saying
again,
is, like
don't
I say,
know.
she's not an NPC, right? She's a main character that he's going after.
But
I'm like,
if he kills
this
her, it'll piss us off.
Yes, but the gangster that he just killed and the cop, those were kind of like NPCs. So I'm like,
The same with Lara's sisters. They're all just, like, very
I'm like-
minimal people.
so were they on your, or was it literally you just had a random white court vampire on your list?
Yeah,
And
just
like-
the first white court vampire you walked across. The first cop you walked across. Those first
And
two-
now that I've set it up, now I'm going to start going to the big names.
honestly, the ones that are most out of pattern are the 2 girls at the beginning of the novel. Like, were you just, like, getting, like...
So
Yes,
he's
two
making-
random
he's
girls
warming
that
up,
are
like,
killed,
He's making
but-
it up as he goes along, is what kind of it feels
That's the thing.
like.
I get the impression that, yeah, like, Murphy just kind of, like, stuck her nose in business and put herself on his radar, which
And
is
maybe
why.
that's what, but like you say, it's so funny that he suddenly like pulls out this list that he seems to have that again, like there was
Yeah,
supposed
oh,
to be.
yeah,
But maybe it is just as random as that. Like, I have a list now because, but yeah, again.
But
it's
maybe
just
his
like-
list is literally just white court vampire, not like Amanda who lives on 111.
Yeah, exactly right. It's all just, I'm like, is this chaos or is this organized? Or because it's not even organized chaos.
9 a.m., have breakfast. 10 a.m., kill a cop. 11 a.m., have lunch. 12 o'clock, kill a mobster. Summon an owl.
Something else.
Yeah, there's a lot of, as the whole series is named after, wild card moments here.
Well, and that's also further to add in, sorry, but the whole, we don't know who summoned this owl, but as us, the audience reading this, we can safely assume it was probably this random freak running around and not Lara.
Cosplayer.
But again, that's even more to the point of like, how do you know about Thomas and Harry, though, at this point in the game to have this owl? Like, you were just like, anyone who tries to go and talk to the White Court vampires is gonna get hit by my owl defense? Like,
well, they already went and examined the bodies at the thing, so maybe simply the fact that
just watching that.
Maybe it was simply the fact that this guy is investigating these girls I killed.
But I was like, other than that, seeing that these guys are poking their nose, and I'm like, there was no interaction between them to.
Who knows how anything is making connections and
we don't know anything.
Honestly, I think it would have been better if they didn't show that. It sort of sets up the next comic book or the next issue. To sort of tie in, one of our favorite characters.
I'll leave it on that clip because, we're getting this all at once. But if this was actually released as separate issues, then, you got to leave the cliffhanger. Oh, no, Murphy, is she going to die?
But in terms of the whole storyline, it's sort of like he's sort of just doing whatever makes him happy.
Yeah.
So having this, a premeditated list is
suddenly, right?
Silly.
Suddenly,
That makes as much sense as his costume choices.
I tried to logic them, and I tried very hard. I was like, what? No.
We learn.
And this is where I think, I'm still back to that White Court. This is what he thinks a White Court vampire looks like.
No logic was harmed in the making of this comic.
There might have been a little smoking smell, but...
Run faster, gerbils, run faster.
This concludes our episode 21.1, Hedwig the Huge. Thank you for listening. You can find us online at freeflowrambling.com and McAnallys.ca. There we have links to our other podcasts, social media, and other fun tidbits. Please subscribe if you like what you're hearing, and please consider supporting us through Patreon to keep the magic alive and to see more content. We are Free Flow Rambling. Conjure by it at your own risk.